Hey, what's going on? Welcome to episode 18 of Big Little Kid Podcast. It's your boy Jay Whitaker. The name of the episode is Breaked Dance. Yep, that's right, Breaked Dance. I want to give a shout out to anybody and everybody that's listening. I appreciate your support. Make sure you hit me up, jaywhitakercomedy.com. Make sure you watch my special on Dry Bar Comedy. It's on YouTube. You can check it out on my website. Today's guest is Andy Gold. You're going to love it. We breaked dance. You'll find out why. Make sure you... what was I going to say? Oh, shows. This weekend, I'm doing Dry Bar Comedy, Rochester, New York, Comedy at the Carlson. Make sure you see me there. I'll be there with Alex Voluto and my boy Steve Solberg. Make sure you keep supporting us. Let's get into the episode. Let's go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Little Kid Podcast. What's going on? It's your boy, Jay Whitaker. Welcome to the episode. Yeah, it's the episode. I got my boy Andy Gold on this episode. Go talk about the fights real quick. I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon lovers. Big shout out to my man, Dr. White. I appreciate you. Thank you for donating. Got new equipment, so we stepping our game up here. I want to thank all of y'all that are supporting you. Make sure you go to jaywhitaker.com. Make sure you go to Patreon Big Little Kid Pod, and that way you can support and be a part of the Big Little Kid movement. You feel me? You hear what I'm knocking? You hear me knocking? Pull me in. All right, whatever. Here we go. We in this. Let's get it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yes. Man. Okay. So can we... Deontay Wilder. Champion. Was. Now the dude is no longer. And let me be clear. Let me be clear first off. I think he's a great fighter. The dude just got caught. Got no legs. And I was going to not make fun of the dude. And I'm still not really, but come on, man. You came in looking like a Wakandan Decepticon. And you going to blame you lost the fight because your outfit was too heavy? Bruv, I don't think you have the facilities for that, mate. I don't think you have the capabilities for that, mate. You don't, bruv. You're right out of pocket for that, mate. What were you thinking? It's not good. You lost to Tyson Fury. You lost to an Englishman. You lost to a bloke. You lost to a gypsy during Black History Month, mate. What were you thinking? I thought you had the capabilities for that, mate. Nope. Listen here, man. I'm going to say it to you very straight. I think both of those guys have promising careers. I think they're going to have... I would love to see a rematch if it can go down, but the dude's got to fight Anthony Joshua now. But kudos to Tyson Fury, man. He did it. The dude was on the verge of suicide, retired, overweight, then comes out of retirement, does his thing, man. You got to give credit where credit's due. Guys, I took a bath. And let me tell you, that felt amazing. Seriously. I took a bath. It was the first time I'd taken a bath in probably 6 months. And guys, I even did the little Instagram thing where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna post a picture of my feet against the wall in the bathtub, and then I got my little wine glass, and I just want to decompress and not think about anything. Got my little lavender bath salts. This is about self-care, guys. It's about self-care, not me. Okay, it's care of self, not me though. Okay, I'm not making it about me. It's about myself. It's different. Okay, that's why it's me, myself, and I. Do you understand? Dude. Oh, man. For real, people are sliding in my DMs. Mostly dudes. Kind of different. which means Legs Day is working out. Yeah, Legs Day. I had some great shows over the week. This past week, I was in Drake at Mass. That show was for the Police Unity Tour. It was amazing. We had some great comics on there. Maya Mannion, Rafi Gonzalez, Zenobia Del Mar, Mike Hanley. I had a chance to work with these Boston beasts, these New England titans, these monsters. Oh my God. It was just a great opportunity to work with some great people and raise money for a damn good cause. And let me tell you, I had a great time with all of the audience members, and I'm just like really just finding myself on stage. It's great, and it gets better every time. This guest that I have on today's show, my buddy Andy Gold. I just want to do a quick gloss over. He's a good dude, man. I've known this dude way back, man. I think you guys are gonna love this episode. I'm really tired and it's late, so I'm just gonna get right to the episode. I'm probably forgetting like some shit that I want to make fun of or discuss, but really, man, I just want to start giving y'all more episodes with more comedians. Please make sure you reach out, hit me up, biglittlepod@gmail. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I finally hit a milestone. I finally hit 5,000 followers on Instagram, which, I mean, some people are like, what? I thought you had way more. I don't. So, but I'm trying, you know what I mean? And I will say this to people out there that, it's not what you think. It's a lot of hard work. And most of it, you're doing it by yourself. And that's just the way it is, but you got to keep trying. But just make sure you follow me on Instagram, follow me on social media, support my Dry Bar special. If you haven't watched it on YouTube, share it with your friends, retweet it, go on it. You can watch it at my website, jwhitaker.com. This next guy, I want to make sure y'all want to get into this. Make sure you follow my dude, Andy Gold, Andy Austin Gold on, I believe, Twitter, and Andy Austin Gold on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you support him. He's very funny. He does an Addicted to Comedy show that's funny. You will love this guy. This is me talking with one of my oldest comedy buddies, and we share some crazy, stupid stories. You guys are going to listen. You guys are going to laugh. Make sure you like and subscribe. Yeah, that's it. Let's get to the episode with my man, Andy Gold. Please to enjoy. Ooh, a nice little transition.
Yeah.
Have we started yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not officially. All right. Well, here we go. Let's start.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? I am here with my buddy Andy Gold.
Oh, nice. I like it. So, is this a podcast where we talk to each other, or we talk to the imagined audience?
Yeah, I know all 8 listeners. No, it's we talk to each other, man. Who
Actually, I suspect Jay has a pretty substantial listenership, if
we
there
doing
is such
okay.
a word.
As long as I stay consistent, we doing okay. But I don't know. It's we talk to each other. Honestly, it's been a long time. We haven't talked to each other. Like we talk, but I mean, like it's always sportsy, and
we haven't. When was the last time we sat down and hung out? It has been.
We'd always hang when we'd be at the Wise Guys Lounge and everything.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Like recently, as you came back and I started hanging out more, and
But like had a catch up.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I guess in the lounge, those are just minor catch ups.
Yeah.
It's been a while though.
I know it has been a while, and I mean, you and I go fucking way back to
Well, when did you start?
2011, early no shit. Hey, as we record this, shit. I think this is like my 9th year in, as of tomorrow's February.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you started I remember that just a few months after me.
Yeah.
So as we get doing it longer and longer, it's just easier to say virtually the same time.
Yeah.
Because I'm at 9.5 years.
Yeah.
God almighty.
I know. Like we came
decade.
up. We came up together though. Like I mean,
I just can't believe it's been that long, though, man.
And I had a friend of mine who listens to the show. She was like, I was like, you should come. As we record this, we're at my buddy Shane's, well, our buddy Shane Smith's.
Speak for yourself, man. He's an enemy of mine.
Shut the fuck up. You know you love me. All right. No, but one of my friends, she listens to the show. She was like, she's like asking who's opening on the show. And I said, Andy Gold. And she's like, is that the guy that does the Pussy Willow shit?
Oh my God,
bro! Like she knew your shit, and it was just real. It was real cool because like
even I forgot about that joke. Holy shit!
Yeah, she was talking about how like when she lived here, she would go to Wise Guys like right around 9-10 years ago, and she's like there was this guy who would talk. I think he did heroin and did Pussy Willows or something.
I didn't forget about that joke. But
I love that one.
Yeah, I loved it too, man. But that's the one I just had to go away after telling it a gazillion times.
No, I get it, man. But
what a memory, though. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Like it was wild when she brought that up. It took me back because I was like, and I was starting to think like, damn, you had a bunch of shit that you don't do anymore. You've burned a lot of material in a good way. That's good.
Yeah, well, and a lot of it is, the world's just changed in 10 years. Yeah, and I had some stuff that was more transgressive and worked in the world of 2010.
And you got fat 3 times.
I got fat 2 times since I started doing comedy. My first fat was before I did comedy.
My first fat?
Yes. But I had to burn some of those jokes just because you have to adapt as a comedian. It doesn't do any good to complain.
What is now? Okay, as I always kick off at every interview that I have with everyone on the show. Like, how'd you grow up? Tell me about.
I grew up in Centerville, Utah, which you're familiar with, Davis County. It was just north of downtown, like 10 minutes. Yeah. When I was growing up, it was still developing, so it was kind of an interesting mix of. 10 minutes away was a city, like an urban center, but still developing in Centerville. So my childhood, dude, in one sense was straight up like Norman Rockwell. Like I would come home from school and change out of my school clothes and into my play clothes and tell my mom, all right, I'm going out. Yeah. No shoes with all my other buddies. Now I'm talking like elementary. Yeah. And we would just go Huckleberry Finn it, dude. Really? We would catch snakes. Frogs. Me and my buddy Rod would dig traps for the joggers. That was kind of fucked up.
What?
Yeah, there's a park not far from us when I was a kid, and we would dig like traps. So when people were running, they would step in it.
Yo, is it the one off the 15 that you can see from the 15 freeway?
It's the one. Have you ever been to my parents' house?
No.
Oh, you can't really see it from I-15. The one you see from I-15 is the baseball park. Yeah. Smoot Park is a little further east, a little smaller, and a little more pleasant.
But I know what you talk. I know that area that you talk about. I used to live near Pages Lane and all that shit.
And Pages Lane.
Yeah. I was right. Yeah, because Pages Lane is basically the cutoff between Bountiful and
it is.
And Centerville.
Yeah. So what else do you want to know? So that's one small element of the childhood.
But like first day of school, like what's your fit? What's your outfit? What's your what
Oh, okay.
Your play clothes, like how was we looking?
So second grade, dude. The first day of school outfit I remember was second grade. Okay, now we're talking about, hold on, one other thing. So I was into Jordans at a super early age.
This does not surprise me. Andy Gold is always about basketball.
My parents were freaked the fuck out.
Why?
Because when I was like a little kid, that's what I wanted more than remote control cars. That's what I wanted more than a gaming system. I wanted a pair of Jordans. I'm like, just get me those Jordans. They cost as much as the Super Nintendo. That's what I would rather have. And they're like, all right. And, so those
but you got them.
Yeah, me and one other kid had real Jordans. His name was Mondo Martin. He was the only Mexican in school, and he break danced. So I made him my friend to give him a little bit of cred.
Did you say break dance?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? He broke. What's the past tense of break dance?
It's just break.
He broke danced.
Break dance.
He broke danced. He break danced. Yeah, me and him. But second grade. I can't believe I remember this so well, dude. Probably because there's a pic. Atlanta Braves jersey.
Yeah.
This would have been 1991 or 2.
Okay.
So sporting an Atlanta Braves jersey was
Dave
still...
Justice.
Yeah. And sometimes, dude, I would fuck that thing backwards because crisscross was ended. I would wear my Atlanta Braves jersey backwards.
What the fuck no?
Yes, I did. Jay, yes, I did. And I wore Guess overalls with one strap down in first and second grade.
Like Naughty by Nature style?
Yeah. Yeah. I had a Snoop Dogg shirt that my parents took for me that my older brother Eric gave to me. So
you look like a fucking character in Hey Arnold or something.
There was two times in my life where hip hop culture really influenced my fashion.
Okay.
High school, which is normal and more embarrassing because I should know better. And when I was a little kid, which is just weird. God. Yeah.
What did your dad think of you wearing your clothes backwards?
Oh, he didn't like it. He thought they were all into drugs, and he took away my Snoop Dogg shirt. And
I mean, but at the time, all right, like to be fair, at that time, like there wasn't much like Snoop Dogg at the time.
Oh yeah, they were doing what they should have done.
That was so mainstream, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it wasn't good content for a kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
album named Doggy Style, and the guy is like, clearly loves weed and transforms into an anthropomorphic dog. Yeah, like
a Doberman did.
Yeah, like fuck, that's weird enough.
And all the ladies turned into. That's one thing I wondered about when I was a kid. Because in that video, right?
Yeah.
He would turn into dogs, and then all of his girlfriends would turn into dogs. And I was like, did they fuck his people and dogs? Like, when they got sick of fucking his people, were they like, let's turn into dogs and fuck his dogs?
I never thought of that until now, and now I can't.
Because he was always rapping about fucking and bitches. And his album was called Doggy Style. It's partying, and they would turn into dogs. Oh yeah. I'm sure they just did it to brag about their newfound like early 90s special effects. But when I was a kid, I was like, now they're going to go fuck his dogs.
So Snoop Dogg turning into a Doberman paved the way for, George Lucas's Phantom of the Menace and Star Wars and all that shit.
Are you... I never got into Star Wars.
You were never a Star Wars guy.
I mean, I think now I could never watch it because I'm completely lost.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Take your time on Disney Plus, man. Just take your time.
Oh, dude, I can't. I just got into that Ford Focus group, man. I know how I'm going to be spending my downtime.
Okay, you want to tell people what you just did?
Talking about how a good radiator to put in my 2011
Tell people
Focus.
what you just did right before we...
I got approved in the Ford Focus Fanatics Facebook group, dude. That's how I spend my free time. That's the content I consume is a bunch of fucking my favorite content is a weirdo named Scotty Kilmer on YouTube who's a mechanic.
Okay.
It's like this 60-year-old guy who lives in upstate. He did live in upstate New York and now he lives in Texas.
Okay.
And he's just a mechanic who just goes on rants about how unreliable German cars are and how great Toyotas are. And it's just a YouTube channel like Practical Car Knowledge.
Okay.
And there's gearheads that are all about performance, which I think is dope and can appreciate it. But this guy's all about reliability.
Is the Ford Focus reliable?
It could be better. It had a really dicey history. Like the early Focuses actually had a ton of recalls. And then when it got into the post 2010, it got better. And I have a 2011.
Oh, okay.
I have 220.
Kind of like the Ford Escape. I had a Ford Escape for a long time.
It has 220,000 miles on it. This is going to affect, you're going to want to hear this. And I bought it from Preston and Auto. It's a salvage title.
Yeah, yeah.
And me and my buddy.
They like to say branded title.
Well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they also like, to call South Central South LA now. And it's still South Central according to Ice Cube. You know what bugs me? I know this isn't about childhood.
No, it's fine.
When they think they're going to fix something by changing the language around it.
South Central's now like SoCen, and or like South Jordan, Sojo.
It's gotten much better though. That part of Los Angeles, hasn't it?
It's
talking about your childhood.
No, man, I don't do that on this show, man.
Oh, okay.
No, we're talking about. Well, we're talking about. This is about me. You're my guest, man. I talk about myself enough. All right.
Because
that's the thing. People tired of hearing about my black ass. They want to hear about you.
Okay. What other?
As far all right. So I talked about your fit, but so you obviously you guys played childhood games like digging ditches for joggers
and sports. That was the thing.
Okay, yeah. Because I was about to say, I'm like there's one thing I know about you, and that is that you are enamored with sport, and you're a big sports fan. And
especially basketball.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you and I have had some in-depth conversations about basketball. Like I think the last time we talked was about when who our picks were for like the Western Conference Finals this year.
Oh yeah,
because we were talking about Denver and we were
that is the last time we talked, and you made some interesting points.
Yeah.
When the Lakers were starting to get hot and their lineup's been so weak that Denver was going to be the test for them. You know, I'm still not necessarily convinced about the Lakers. Mm-hmm. I think they're a safe bet.
Yeah.
God, the West is competitive right now, especially with what the Jazz have done recently, dude.
They're number 2.
Fuck, I know.
It's like
they're on fire. That insane. Trade did so much. It was bananas. Nobody expected that. But yeah, so as a little kid, outdoorsy shit, sports. I had a Super Nintendo. So all the circumstances were pretty like kind of what you would expect.
Yeah.
I was not a good kid. Okay.
Yeah.
I was a wild kid. I was getting in trouble a lot with
what would you get in trouble for?
For mouthing off to the teachers. I mouthed off to every adult except my parents.
What's the worst shit you said? Like, what were like the
oh my God,
the things that got you in trouble the most?
Oh my God. Let's see. Are we talking about shit I did at school or just in the neighborhood?
Whatever. Yeah, just both. What was?
All right. I mean, the craziest shit I did is when me and my friends, we were the Turkish Commandos. Yeah. We called ourselves the Turkish Commandos.
Yeah. Spencer warned me about this. What is this?
It was just me and my buddies. The entire point of what we would do is just to wreak havoc and mayhem in the neighborhood. And we would like shit on people's porches. And this went all the way up into high school.
Why?
Because here's a great thing.
No.
And we went to Vegas to play some baseball, and me and my friend Tyler stole like 25 Hustlers. And then like the nastiest, just spread your pussy open porno mag of the 90s. Well, this has been like 2002.
Yeah.
And then we went up and down the street on my neighborhood and just put them in people's mailboxes, folded like it was part of the mail. Yeah.
Why?
Just the idea of them opening the mailbox and then pulling out a Hustler like Brother Bastion.
Did you ever stick around for the mailbox?
What was that?
Did you guys ever stick around for the?
Not for the Hustlers, but we did all kinds of stuff in people's mailbox. We would put like dead birds in Ziploc bags and
put that. Fun. That's not fun. Come on, Andy Gold.
I was a kid. And yes, it is fun. Yeah.
I mean, but did you ever stick around for the reaction? My whole thing is like, you got to stick around for the reaction.
Not for the, well, I don't know when people are going to go out to their mailboxes, I think. I stuck around when I cut down the East European guy's tree. Mm-hmm. Okay. That was like at 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. He lived kitty corner from our house. It was a quaking aspen. It was about 25 foot tall.
I forgot you know a lot about trees.
Yeah. I forgot. And it took us like 20 minutes to saw this fucker down. We did it with a hacksaw. And we underestimated like the noise it would make. Mm-hmm. And it just came crashing down on this dude's yard.
Yeah.
And it made so much racket, we knew it would wake him up, and we went and hid behind the power box, and we saw him come out, turns on his porch light, and his whole yard has this tree across it. His whole yard is now this tree. And he's like, "Who cut down my tree?" And that was it. That was
when did you know that that you were just gonna be just this kid who would just cause mischief? Like you just
I guess my brothers did it too.
Yeah.
And I knew it was fun. And
because you're you were the middle.
I was the youngest.
Okay,
the youngest.
Okay.
And my brothers were crazy too, dude. Like my brother Eric would go to the Rizzlies in his underwear.
Wait, what's the
Rizzlies?
What's
that was their names, the Rizzlies.
Oh, okay. I thought this was like
these people.
I thought this was Grizzlies without the.
No, their last name was the Rizzlies.
Oh, okay.
And
I like how you give out government names.
He would go and knock on their door in his underwear and just like ask if he could borrow sugar or ask if he could borrow some eggs.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Him and my brother Nate, when they were having family reunions, their backyard and our backyard were just divided by a fence.
Yeah.
They would go and jump on the trampoline totally naked when the Rizzlies were trying to have their family party.
Why?
Just to fuck with them. The best way to fuck with people is to do shit that's not like actually harmful.
Yeah.
But it's just confusing. You're kind of like, we don't want them. Come on.
So would you say that it applies to your comedy? You like how I switched gears there?
No. It's actually an interesting question because I'm kind of a mischievous person like that even now. It does a little bit when I do crowd work.
Yeah.
And it does a little bit when for instance, when I told the audience tonight that I didn't think they were that good.
Yeah.
The little things like that always find their way. And
that was a fun moment because I watched that set and it was fun. And you ended on a new joke.
Well, and that's an example of the mischievous part making its way into the comedy because that's not taking my job seriously. It's a brand new joke. It's stupid.
It was funny.
But that's a perfect example of, for a moment, I'm going to sort of disregard what I'm being paid to do. Just basically do this. I closed my set as a fucking prank.
Yeah.
And told this joke that had nothing to do with the rest of my set. About fucking Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really funny. No, like one of my favorite, you are a mischievous son of a bitch because I remember one of my favorite things that you did was move my so in the Wise Guys green room or like in the it's the green room complex. Excuse me.
Here at the Gateway?
Yeah. At the Gateway. They have all
the green room complex.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fucking big. We're spoiled here.
Oh, yeah.
And they have all the posters of all the comics that have come through here, you know, ranging from, I love this story, dude. And ranging from everyone from, Chris D'Elia, Sinbad, Mark Curry, like, you know, everyone who's ever come here, Whitney Cummings, who's who. So everyone, you know, and some of the local guys, we always end up on there. I'm up there. Andy's up there. You know, Guy Seidel's up there. Shane's up there. So my poster was positioned near Drew Carey's, and then all of a sudden...
It was visible.
Yeah, it was visible. Yeah. Yours was underneath... Where was yours?
I got the dark, shadowy fucking kid who got into drugs we don't talk about spot. That's the spot. Because Keith is a proximity guy. Yeah. He's more mindful of people who are around him. Mm-hmm. And I was out in LA for 2 years. So I was... Andy was in the back burner. So let's put Andy's poster in the shadows under the table. But I moved back home, and that's not going to be how it is now. I'm afraid.
So what'd you do?
I switched my poster with yours. Mm-hmm.
Which is, mine was visible.
Yours was visible, and I could have done it with just some dipshit who I didn't know, but that would be a wasted. So I put Jay's poster in the... Is it still there, or is it now it's Guy Seidel?
No, but remember when who was there when I think Spencer was there when I caught it, or you were there when I caught it. I finally caught it. It took me 6 months to catch it.
Oh yeah, it was up there for a while.
It was up there.
That's right. You got yes.
And so then because Spencer King was there when I finally caught it, and I text you. I was like, "Son of a bitch!" And so then I took your poster and I moved mine, put it back to its original spot, but took yours and swapped it with Guys and put Guys underneath the table.
What happened.
I did that just for you.
That's fair.
That was fair. I thought that was fair.
And I think Guy's fine with that too.
Yeah, Guy was fine with that.
Yeah. Well, it all worked out.
But I love the long con of that you were just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and see if he eventually figures it out. Uh-huh. And when I finally did, I was like, motherfuck.
Yeah. So I guess that's something that's stayed with me since I was a kid. So hopefully it keeps through.
What you like to prank other comics? What's your favorite prank that you pulled on other comics?
Oh boy!
Besides switching posters, I mean, like that was an anticlimactic story.
Well, here it is.
Okay,
this will make your listeners. I mean, they already probably think I'm a rotten person. You tried to bring my dead bird story to a halt because you didn't think they could handle it.
I like birds, motherfucker. you as much as you like trees, I love birds.
I'm sorry.
You do know that.
Just so you know, I didn't kill the birds; they were already dead.
Okay, fair enough. There you go. All right. So
did you think I killed the birds?
Yeah, that's right.
That would be fucked up. Yeah. No, I didn't kill birds. I found birds that were already dead.
Okay.
And put those in Ziploc bags and put them in people's mailboxes.
It still sounds fucked up when you say
it's fucked up. Yeah. One time I put a dead bird in a urinal.
Why?
Can you imagine going to the urinal to pee and there's a dead bird in there?
I feel like every story, every explanation is, can you imagine?
That's what's Seth Tippett, who's a comic here in town.
Oh God, I know this story.
He's
He had a good set tonight too.
Yeah, he did. He's from Brigham, and he kind of has like this Brigham City, for everybody who's listening, is a really kind of country, old-fashioned community in northern Utah. And I would say it's actually off the beaten path. It's separated from the Salt Lake metro area, and it's kind of its own real like small farm town kind of a community. Yeah. And that's where he grew up. So old fashioned, and he's kind of sheltered anyway. And he's kind of sensitive and fragile, which I'm not even talking shit. These are just observations. He would probably agree. I don't think any of those are actually bad things. It probably means he's more compassionate and sensitive and all that.
All right. But to be fair to like, this is early Seth Tippett.
And this is early Seth Tippett.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's very important.
Before he had been really hardened by comedy.
That's what I said. Like, he's like the maturation of Seth Tippett's is a whole nother story. And like, I applaud him fully. So yeah, he's awesome.
Okay. So there is a clip on the internet and I don't suggest watching it.
Trigger warning.
Don't watch it. There's nothing to be gained by watching it, but it's a man who is the treasurer of Pennsylvania named R. Bud Dwyer, who was caught doing some illegal shit, giving a company in California funds to repair some infrastructure in Pennsylvania or something like that. It's a bit of a long story. Anyway, he was caught doing some illegal shit. He called a press conference and pulled out from underneath the podium a manila envelope. And from that manila envelope, he pulled out a revolver, put it in his mouth, cocked the hammer, pulled the trigger, and it's fucked up. Yeah. And the camera zooms in on it, and it's hard to watch and jarring, much more than any like movie can do. And Seth was brand new in comedy and really meek and fragile.
Yeah.
And I just said, "Hey, Seth, come watch this, dude. Check this out. This is cool. This is a cool video I found."
And he's about to go on stage.
And he watched the whole thing.
Right before he went on
froze.
Stage. Yeah.
And then, as though it were scripted, they said, "Now come to the stage, Seth Tippett." And he went up and had to do comedy, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Was a good one.
And like, fuck, I remember you for that. And that shouldn't be funny, but like the look of shock in his face was perfect.
Yeah. So that was a good one.
So you were a big sports fan, obviously, as a kid. And
yes.
Who were your like sports idols? I know getting
off first Seth sports Tippett. Idol as a kid was actually Babe Ruth, just because he was fat and partied, and that's what I wanted to be as a kid, because I was a fat kid and I liked to party.
Okay.
So I thought Babe Ruth was dope that way.
Why'd you get so fat, Andy? What were you snacking on back then? What were you little Debbie's kind of guy?
Well, I got a slow metabolism, but I also always need stimuli. Okay. I struggle with being able to stay in the moment with anything.
I could tell.
And I have a pretty...
Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, I have a pretty insatiable appetite for stimuli. Okay. It's my biggest malfunction in life. Yeah. It's the cause for all of my problems.
I get it. Yeah.
And sometimes it manifests in shoving fucking food in my face,
Fair
dude.
enough. I get it, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same reason I'll bang a 2. You know? It's not...
Hey, man, I didn't ask, but you telling me, so...
Yeah, that's why. Just the stimulation of doing something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so Babe Ruth.
It's basically shitty addict behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is. And Babe Ruth and then Michael Jordan.
Okay. Those and so I'm assuming baseball, basketball were your primary favorite sports.
And then Ken Griffey Jr. for current players was a childhood favorite, as every kid who grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, I agree. We're roughly the same age, and like, Ken Griffey Jr. was. So you
remember when we were like first grade through 6th grade?
Yeah,
Griffey was the shit.
Yeah,
and he should have been the shit because he was fucking superb. Like, people actually forget
how great he was. He was like LeBron James of baseball.
He was like, he was a 5-tool player. He could hit for power, hit for average, run the bases, field, and throw. He was a Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle type great fucking player. So I loved, and he batted from the left side like me, which I liked. And so did Babe Ruth.
You played baseball.
Yes.
Okay.
I was better at baseball than basketball.
Okay.
Much better. But I didn't like baseball as much as I liked basketball. And I liked baseball, but I loved basketball. But, you know,
those are your heroes, like growing up.
Those are my sports heroes. Okay,
Who are your heroes?
Oh God, did I have any heroes? Maybe Jesse Ventura in Predator. I thought he was really fucking cool.
This shit ain't bad as in Cambodia or whatever. Yeah.
I ain't got time to bleed. That shit.
Yeah. Dude, Predator is there's so much machismo in that movie. There's so much bravado. There's so much. It's too much.
Today it looks so dated and almost corny.
Yeah.
Well, the fucking arm wrestle handshake has become a meme.
Yeah,
and their arms are all greased up and shiny.
Yeah, and Carl Weathers and fucking when Billy gets killed, that scream we used to because Billy's just like he cuts himself before he fucking.
Oh right, yes, with the fucking machete.
Yeah, and Billy had that deep ass voice.
Yes,
and then when he dies, he screams so high, it's like a fucking Mariah Carey high note. You know what I mean? Like it's so weird.
This is all also back in the 80s when you could just blatantly say, yeah, we're gonna give the Indian magic powers. He just fucking knows there's something in the jungle because they're more Native American. But in the 80s, they called him Indian still.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna give him like a sixth sense.
Yeah, and
people will believe it because he's native. This is back in the 80s.
This
when you could,
and then the white guy with the glasses. They had the
great. My theory, is that's what triggered Predator to kill everybody. Is because he didn't start killing everybody until the guy with the glasses told the bad pussy jokes.
What? Yeah, I mean,
Predator was chilling.
You're not right. You're not wrong.
And then the guy goes, he told that joke. I says to my wife, "Geez, you got a big pussy. Geez, you got a big pussy." Because of the echo.
Yeah.
And then Billy thinks about it for a minute, and then it goes.
that laugh. The Predator laugh.
And then Predator zoomed in on it and was clearly like, "Oh my god, these people are horrifying." And think of it, they just went into that village, fucking killed everybody. Predator's just watching, like, what the fuck is this? And then they start telling each other pussy jokes, following up like this evil fucking corporate villain laugh.
Yeah.
Predator was just doing, I would have done the same thing if I were Predator. These people need to be stopped. So you can't tell me that he was necessarily the bad guy.
So he's a hero.
Kind of.
I mean, like, because Predator was basically just he was HR with an agenda.
What is the plot behind Predator anyway? Carl Weathers sends some Green Berets in.
Yeah. To stop the HR alien.
Oh, is that what happened?
Well, because they were trying to access this base and people kept disappearing.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, well, we'll send these other people in, and they're like, they got nobody left, and then it's like, boom.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and Carl Weathers was not forthcoming with Arnold.
Yeah.
And that's what made the tension.
Like, there's HR alien out there.
I see. So Carl Weathers knew there was an alien.
He knew. Well, he didn't know there was.
He knew people were being disappeared.
Yes,
disappearing.
Yeah,
I see.
They were break dancing.
Yes,
dude, you fucking idiot.
That is one thing that movies do that bugs me. Is okay. So why is there always one character who, for some reason, has to be an idiot, like who's just not on board with what everybody else knows?
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, okay, there's some alien out there that's killing everybody, and Carl's like, everybody keep cool. It's just a couple of guys running around.
Yeah.
Like, why is there always that person?
And then Billy's like, yo, there's something in the trees, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he knew it.
Dude,
if he knew it, why didn't he help?
First of all, I hate your fucking theory because you're 100% right. It's bulletproof. Like
the pussy eating.
Yeah. Like
Predator
he told that fucking joke and he was like, oh, this is inappropriate.
Predator clearly had a significant reaction.
Yeah.
He zoomed in on Billy doing his infrared laugh. And that's fucking like, okay, I'm going to kill this guy.
Yeah.
Well, who was the first guy to go was the guy who told the pussy joke.
Yeah. I forget. It was like, it looked like Matt Modine. It's not him, but it looked like Matt Modine.
The second guy to go was, it was the other kind of generic white guy, wasn't it? Oh no, he got hit by a log.
Yeah.
He made it to the end. Was the second guy to go Jesse Ventura?
I think it was Jesse Ventura, then Mac.
Mac was the black guy who shaved in the jungle and cut himself after Jesse died. Yeah. Because him and Jesse were homies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when he went fucking nuts. And he was looking at the moon with the knife. It's like, I'm going to cut your name into him.
She's so sweet. She's so sweet.
Yes.
You remember that part? Yeah.
Running through the jungle.
Yeah. I'm going to get some. I'm coming.
I'm going to have me some. Yeah, singing.
I'm going to have me some fun.
Singing Little Richard.
Yeah, I'm gonna have me some fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have me some fun. She's so sweet. She's so sweet.
And then how did Mac die?
He got fucked.
Him and Carl. Here's what happened.
Okay.
Him and Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers got an arm chopped off. He got a bicep chopped
Yes.
off.
So Mac spotted Predator.
Yeah,
He's like, out there,
He's acid.
past them trees. Those are the only fucking like directions he
Yeah.
gave. Nothing like 300 yards.
Yeah, these are
the
green berets. These are green berets. You know, like they should be able to like, hey man, 20 clicks, but or whatever. I don't know.
Hollywood's version of Green Berets is they just do magic
Yeah.
shit.
They're out there somewhere in them trees.
Then Carl Weathers sees him,
Yeah.
and then they come up with a plan.
Yeah.
Like he's
To flank them.
no. Carl Weathers said flush, like they were hunting a fucking pheasant. I'm gonna sneak around and flush him towards you, like they were hunting a bird. And as Mac is sneaking into position, Predator blows his head off. Remember?
Yeah.
And then he blows Carl Weathers' arm off, and his arm is still shooting the machine gun.
Yeah, the machine gun. Oh, it's so much. It's hyper masculinity.
Yeah. So we digress though.
Yeah, that was one of your heroes.
I don't know if I had any like what you would call real like heroes,
Mhm.
people I wanted to emulate. This is shitty, but it actually may have been Babe Ruth.
Really?
He just seemed like he had the funnest life. He was
Yeah.
a dope athlete. His life ruled.
Won the league in homers but also ruled the league in strikeouts.
Yeah,
And that is kind of like you.
I lead the league in home runs and strikeouts.
I mean, because you're unafraid, dude. Like the one thing I honestly, and like I've worked with you for years. We've opened and closed so many shows together, and like you are fearless of a fucking crowd. I love that about you. And for a long time I was very fearless of crowds, and you weren't. And even if you were, even if you might have had the slightest like fear of them, you never let it show. I had a tendency to let it show. And that was one thing I've always admired about you. So,
oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I didn't know that was a thing, to be honest with
No,
you.
I
I
mean,
didn't know. Yeah.
And when I think of but the thing is, going back to Babe Ruth, when I think of Babe Ruth, I think of his fearlessness, because he was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna kill in home runs.
Yeah.
But he's unafraid to strike out.
Right.
You know
He
what I
just
mean?
went out there and swung for
Yeah,
the
he just
swung
he just
for the
swings
fences.
He's like,
And I mean, at the time, he was hitting more home runs than like other teams and shit. He revolutionized the game and made the home run, like he normalized the home run.
yeah.
Yeah, the game of baseball. Who knows how he would do in today's league? I mean,
he'd be canceled so quick.
Yeah.
He'd be canceled so like.
Even if he put up the kind of numbers he did, he'd be canceled.
Fucking canceled.
Yeah, dude, you can't do that kind of shit.
Yeah, they're like, yo, babe, you gotta chill.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a slow dance, school dance? But what was your first slow dance?
Are you talking about like my first crush?
Yeah, first crush. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You don't need to name names, but I mean, just like.
Oh yeah, I remember the first girl I remember the first girl I had a crush on for sure, dude. It was 6th grade, and it was weird. Like puberty hadn't really taken hold yet, so that it wasn't like a sexual crush. It was like one of these little kid crushes.
Yeah.
But you still think I still thought she was pretty.
Yeah.
Like I still knew I was attracted to her.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Yeah. And she would laugh. We sat next to each other, and there's this even little kids vibe. You always vibe with people.
100%.
You click with people.
100%.
And just like you click with your friends, sometimes you click with classmates who are girls, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell the vibe. She likes you like her, but you're two dumb kids who don't really know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my first crutch. We always sat next to each other. We always made sure we sat so our fucking knees and elbows were touching.
Oh, shit.
That little kid shit. But you don't talk about it.
Was she your first kiss?
No.
Okay.
She wasn't my first kiss. She was just my first crush.
Okay.
Yeah. But she was like the first girl. I was like, oh, I'm excited to see her. I like her.
Who was your first fictional crush? Like cartoon character, actress?
Fucking
whatever?
the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, man.
Really?
Christy Swanson.
Yeah, bro.
Was fucking banging, dude.
I'm with you.
The blonde.
Yes.
From the movie.
Yes.
Fucking.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. A knockout.
That wasn't my first, but yes, I like.
One of the most underrated hot women in Hollywood history.
Okay,
Christy Swanson. Dude.
I'm with it.
So banging.
I'm with it, dude.
Yeah. It was 1992.
I'm with it.
I was like,
I'm with it, bro.
Yeah. I would have loved.
God, I remember that movie so much. Like there was the guy that he need. No, I don't remember that movie so much, but it was all about the prom. It was all about the dress.
I'll tell you about the movie.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, this is dope. We're just going through.
Does HR Predator show up as well?
Christy Swanson is your typical Valley girl.
Yes.
Right? Like, okay. But she had an ancestor way back in the day. She comes from a
Donald Sutherland.
Yes, very prestigious bloodline of a vampire killers. Donald Sutherland comes from a prestigious bloodline of people who find the vampire killers. Mm-hmm. Somehow it gets lost in the plot. His mission was carried down generation to generations. Buffy's was not. She had no idea she was supposed to kill vampires. So it's up to Donald Sutherland to track her down and convince her.
He's like LinkedIn for vampires.
And it takes some doing, right? But she finally gets convinced when he takes her to the graveyard and she kills like her classmates that got killed.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then the next 15 minutes is a montage of training. Now she's a black belt because she knows gymnastics.
Yeah, that's right.
They trained in Donald Sutherland's warehouse.
Which is like so fucking weird. Like, hey, I'm a creepy old guy. Like,
I just got this big old warehouse.
Yeah, dude.
And why does he know karate and shit? Do you remember back in the early 90s? You remember this since we're the same age. Before people learned that karate was bullshit.
Yeah.
People thought karate and taekwondo and shit was the shit. And Ninja Turtles didn't help, dude. There was a kid I went to school with, and I will name this fucker, named Tyler Birch, all right, who was a bully-ass motherfucker. I was a mischief, but I wasn't a bully.
Okay.
This kid was a fucking bully because he had a brown belt with a purple stripe, and he would always threaten all the other kids with his lame-ass Mormon bully speech. Hang his coat up. It's like, if anybody touches my coat, your butt's going to be screwed.
What? What kind of threat is that?
You would say this all the time. And if all of you touch my coat, all of your butts are going to be screwed.
I don't know about that one.
Then we'd slowly walk by. Jay's device just fell off and he's answering the door.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
I can edit this out in post. It's fine.
All right. Is it still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. Okay, yeah, we're good.
Cool. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah. Aaron's the best.
Yeah. So he would say that kind of shit to us. If your butt's going to be screwed.
Dude, your butt's going to be screwed.
And we would all try not to graze his jacket. Right.
Yeah.
And he would say shit like, I could easily beat up the whole school if I wanted to.
The fuck?
Yeah. But here, it was like 1992. We all thought karate. And even the teachers were like, yeah, I think once you know that stuff, you're pretty much a deadly weapon. So they reinforced it. Like we had all just thought Tyler Birch, I don't know what he's doing now, but.
Do you think he has a dojo?
I don't know. That shit's a fucking scam. I don't know. Maybe it's good for mental health or something.
All right. You brought up Ninja Turtles. Who is your Ninja Turtle? Who are you picking? Who are you picking?
I liked Raphael, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was. I always figured that Raphael and Donatello were the unsung minorities of the group.
Michelangelo wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
Leonardo was a goody-goody.
Yeah. I fucking hated Leonardo.
Yeah.
Bad.
I did too. He was
Michelangelo felt like he would be my best friend.
Yeah.
I always felt like Raphael, like the one that's like off to the side doing his own side adventures.
Yeah.
You know, but he goes to...
He would go to the movies by himself in his fucking trench coat.
But he goes to Michelangelo, you know, to kind of like just unwind and shit. Like, hey man, you understand me.
And I think Raphael was the best fighter.
Oh yeah, because he had the sai.
Yeah,
the sai is a very offensive weapon.
Is it?
Are you familiar with Elektra from Marvel Comics?
Yeah. I remember that. I remember Mortal Kombat 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Well, Elektra, she wore the purple.
No, Elektra is from Marvel. You're talking about Mortal Kombat, dude. Fucking.
No, I don't know Elektra from Marvel.
Fucking stupid, man. Fucking rookie.
Who's Elektra from Marvel?
She was Daredevil's like love interest. She Jennifer Garner played her in the movie, and
I didn't see that shit.
But the sais are a very offensive weapon.
Oh, okay.
And so it's more like where the bow staff is more of like a kind of defensive.
Is that Donatello's weapon? That stick?
Yeah,
it's
called a bow staff.
What about nunchucks, dude?
I mean, nunchucks are cool, but the sai was like it was like mini swords. It was like little fucking shrimp cocktail swords.
It looked like just something they have at Rodizio, dude. It looks like a fucking meat serving device. I'm not that into size.
But you still fuck with Raphael.
Yeah.
All your butts are gonna get screwed.
Uh-huh. if everybody touches this, everybody's butt's gonna be screwed.
Dude,
That was the thing he liked to flex on most, is how he could beat everybody up. At this.
dude,
And he had a brown belt with a purple stripe,
that is not
and his name was Tyler Birch.
problematic. So you're this mischievous kid, you're this sports loving kid, and as far as like, and now you're a comic. What would you say? Like, where do you think about your childhood a lot as far as like, you know, do you appreciate the childhood that you have now?
Oh yeah, dude.
Okay.
For sure. You know, I mean, it wasn't, the circumstances were good, but the thing is, no matter how good the circumstances, it's human beings.
Yeah, yeah.
And human beings are troubled and flawed and fucked up. My family, I love them, but there's a lot of fucked up stuff in my family. Like drug addiction runs rampant in my family, a lot of addicts in my family. Yeah, parents have been through some shit for sure. So circumstantially, my childhood was like objectively privileged. We didn't grow up like fuck you rich or anything like that. But, you know, I felt like circumstantially I was certainly more fortunate than the vast majority of the world.
Yeah.
For sure. And I try to be mindful of that.
Right.
And you gotta be grateful for that. Otherwise if you can't be grateful for those kinds of things, you know, just having it better than, I mean, there's no reason to make the rest of the world off limits. Just how much better you have it than the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I'm grateful for it in that respect. And my parents did the best they can. They weren't perfect, but they did the best they could. My dad spent time with me. He always wanted to spend time with me. He was never too busy for me, anything like that. But yeah. Is this the part? And then I got into heroin. I don't know how to segue. Yeah.
I didn't want to like.
Well, because I was thinking, like, this sounds like super like Norman Rockwell.
Yeah.
Like apple pie.
I didn't know how dark you wanted to get. Like I was.
Well, I just feel like it's kind of an elephant in the room at this point because you know about me.
Yeah.
And people who might know me who are listening.
Even prior to the podcast, I was like, before this interview, I'm already prepping the audience. Like, hey, Andy Gold's a former, heroin addict and blah blah blah. And
but I was a wild kid and I was a party kid. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
And I grew up Mormon, as you know, and church just wasn't my thing, man.
Fair enough.
Authority was not my thing.
Okay.
The only adults I respected were my parents. I did not respect teachers. I did not respect Sunday school teachers.
Okay.
I like openly disrespected them.
Okay.
So I was in trouble with authority a lot.
Okay.
And I would ditch church so often that when we were driving to church, I would jump out of the van when my dad went to a stop sign and run to the park. And it happened so much that my dad would come to like rolling stops and not stop all the way. Like, Andy, don't jump out of the van. So I'd go to church. So I was just drawn to excitement, anything that would stimulate the senses. And certainly, the conventional Centerville, Utah upbringing wasn't satisfying that.
But comedy excites you now?
Comedy,
That's more of a question, yeah.
I do like it, but I'm trying to find more meaning from, sounds dumb, but this is just what I'm trying to do.
It's you, dude.
More meaning from within.
Okay.
Because I don't know how long, who knows what could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll always be doing comedy.
I agree.
So
I'm right there with you, man.
What then? If comedy's been the thing that's been keeping me off of heroin and I can't do comedy anymore, or I don't want to do comedy anymore, what then? So there has to be something else.
Yeah.
And it cannot be an external thing because you just don't know how that's going to last.
Yeah.
So the only source for like lasting peace is from the inside.
Right.
And you remember how earlier I was saying I just struggle with being present?
Yeah.
That's what I got. What I'm really working on these last few years is just trying to be a little bit more present, a little bit more in the moment, focusing on what I'm doing in the moment.
Last things, because I know we're running out of time.
We just bullshitted, huh?
Yeah, no, but last things. What would you tell yourself as a younger kid if you can go back and see yourself? What would you tell yourself
as a younger kid?
Yeah, that young kid that's waiting for joggers to step in, piles of shit or.
Boy,
what would you tell those kids on the trampoline?
So this is a kid. giving my younger self a piece of advice. I could go back in time.
Yeah.
What would I tell young Andy? How old?
It doesn't matter, dude. It's fucking, dude, it's your fucking shit, dude.
Okay. I would tell. I think the show's about to end.
Yeah, the show's about to end.
Okay.
Sorry. No,
I would tell young Andy.
We're recording while a comedy show's going.
All right. Just dress like a working man in high school.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's a real huge embarrassment for me is the way I dressed in high school.
All right. You kind of look like Fred Durst or something shit.
No, I dressed like 50 Cent.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, where can people find you, Half Dollar Man? Where can people find you on social media?
Just on the usual stuff. My name's Andy. You can find me on Facebook, Andy Gold, and at Andy Austin Gold on Instagram, which I need to do more of.
Yeah,
fuck Instagram, dude. Facebook's better. I can think of something and post it. Right?
Yeah.
With Instagram, I'm like, oh, what picture goes with this? I better put a picture of my fucking stupid face next to this good joke.
Fair
I hate
enough.
it.
Okay. I'll give you that.
So, but find me on there, and then I tweet like once every 8 weeks now at Andy Gold on Twitter.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude, for stopping by.
Was
dude.
that it?
Yeah, dude. That's it. That's it.
Did we not get into the heroin as much as you wanted to?
No, like actually, it's not about the heroin. It's about your childhood.
I know. Okay.
You weren't fucking doing 8 balls when you were a kid, man.
This is true. Yeah, 8 balls. 8 balls a cocaine term.
I don't know the drugs. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm here for, buddy.
All right.
Thanks for having me. I had fun, dude.
I love you, man.
This is great. I love you too, man.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you, dude.
Let's do this again. All right.
Let's do it. This was kind of like catching up.
Yeah, it was like
I think we gave him good content.
I think we did.
Shane Smith is coming back. Dude, Shane bombed.
Shut up.
Oh my God. Shane just came into the green room. Can you go back? We're not done talking shit.
No, we're winding down.
Anyway, dude.
I'm trying to fucking
Did
close.
you hear that one joke he did that was not funny and shitty?
Shut up. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Gold, have a good one.
Bye.
All right.